I will do everything in my power to make Pennsylvania.
Many drivers stayed off the roads and allowed PennDOT and Public Works to do their jobs.
Speeding, texting, running red lights, all listed as the riskiest driving habits among millennials ages 19 to 24.
This is our Alfredo sauce. Then we're going to add our Parmesan cheese to it.
Those drinking cups, and then I just stack with them, transform into the 110-1.
That was only a year and a half ago. Just look at him now. Brendan has competed in 3 tournaments, earning him record-breaking finishes.
Yes.
Ken Hess is in charge of running the 100-gallon steamer that cooks the pork and explained how the church's cooking process is truly original.
I'm an industrial electrician by trade, and you know how things work, so it's wasn't too hard, but it's sort of a Rube Goldberg. It's not much to look at.
Meet Rami.
Rami, come.
He's a 3-year-old blackmouth cur and a rescue. He's also trained to sniff out bed bugs.
Good boy. Find the bugs. He was always very inquisitive with other things around the house, so I figured I'd just try and channel that into something, give him a job. He has high energy, so he likes to do that, and just gives a little bit more of a bond between him and I. Check here.
Ed Mann is the boss behind the Dog Boss brand. He began the dog training business to provide a safe haven for rescued animals, as well as a job for him and Rami when he retires from the police force.
Good boy. I like helping the rescue dogs, and this is just going to be like a segue into retirement. I still get to work with the dogs, helps a lot of people out, and all the dogs that I use for the program are rescue dogs. Find the bugs? Check here.
School assembly usually means no math class, a bunch of people talking, and having to sit and listen. But this assembly made kids assemble, both themselves and codes.
This is super fun.
Representatives from Google spent time with 5th graders at Ephrata Middle School today to inspire the next generation of computer programmers.
Pokemon Go is actually just a bunch of code.
We feel like if we can get kids excited about coding and make them understand that they too can do this, it's something that's going to set them up for success later in life.
I just told my wife, I says just this one spot here alone was worth the drive.
But this year could be one of the last to see the white birds at Middle Creek. The PA Game Commission says they are considering closure due to a lack of funding.
A lot of people come up here in the summertime just for picnicking and things like that.
As restoration crews work to remove this oak tree from her office, Elizabeth Hall is counting her blessings.
God's timing was so perfect because he woke up my son at just the right time.
Just moments after the winds picked up in last night's storm, her 2-year-old son woke from his nap, causing Elizabeth to stop working in her front office.
Had he not woken up, I would have still been working in my office and could have died.
The two went to the front door to watch the storm when Elizabeth noticed the tree slowly falling out of the corner of her eye.
Just that quickly, out of the glimpse of my eye, I could see our front tree leaning towards the house, and my gut instinct was to run to the opposite side of the house.
The oak tree, nestled just 2 feet from the house, toppled into the front office space, cracking the foundation down to the basement. Elizabeth and her son got away just in time.
He was like, "Mommy, why are you screaming for Jesus?" I said, "For his protection, honey."
The family of 3, soon to be 4, had just celebrated 10 years in their Maple Street home, never questioning the possibility of the oak tree falling down.
We had it maintained over the years. We would keep up with any dead limbs that would break off. We would have them check the integrity of the tree, and they said, "Hey, it's a great, healthy tree."
Feeling lucky to be alive, Elizabeth calls this instance an example of divine intervention.
God was with us every step of the way. Like he was just with us the whole way to protect us.
The Hall family will be staying in a nearby hotel for the next 2 to 3 months as restoration is complete. Reporting in Ephrata, Holly Harrer, News 11. Yeah, Brendan, it is all under control now, but earlier this morning, 19 tankers and multiple lines were needed to dissipate this blaze. Fire Chief Ron Ottle told me that half of this decades-old building is a total loss, an outcome they were not expecting when they arrived on the scene this morning. At 3:30 this morning, fire crews were called to Specialty Bakery for a reported building fire. In a matter of just 10 minutes, this was the scene.
I had 2 companies on the roof at that point, and they disappeared in the smoke.
When firefighters arrived, Chief Ottle says it was, quote, nothing critical, and connected only 3 hand lines and deployed only a few firefighters to the roof. But as they quickly discovered,
the conditions changed and deteriorated so much that we had to pull all the crews that were trying to get inside and get to the fire. We had to pull them out.
And without a moment to spare,
it literally took off. We just had such a change of conditions in such a short period of time that the amount of water supply and the initial equipment that was dispatched to the scene, we just couldn't keep up with it.
Multiple lines were connected to hydrants, and 19 companies from across the county were dispatched.
None of us can do this alone anymore. If we don't work collectively and we don't all pull together, we could never take care of these sort of situations.
Even with enough hands, the fire tore through half of the building's base structure. It is believed to have started above one of the ovens in the production line.
Everybody was out of the building, all the workers had exited. And then, of course, our primary concern becomes our crews to make sure that we're not putting them in harm's way for the sake of a building.
And that building is almost 60 years old.
This is a facility that's been here for a very long time. The former owners of the building are people that I've known for many, many years. They're terribly upset, and you know, it affects all of us. It really does. It's a big impact.
As crews work to salvage what they could and tear down what could have rekindled a flame, fire marshals work to determine the exact cause.
Again, I don't have a specific origin and cause developed yet, nor do I have a loss figure, but it's going to be significant.
Now, fire marshals were on the scene for about 2 hours today and can confirm that indeed this fire started from that oven on the production line. As for the owners of Specialty Bakery, they now look to regain what was lost. Reporting live in Lidditz, I'm Holly Hare. Brendan, back to you.
If you think your hands are full, we invite you to step into Kara McMonigal or Megan Nunez's world. Over the last year, both women became first-time moms to not 1, not 2, but 3 babies. Yeah, that's right. They each have a set of triplets.
The doctor said, well, here's one, here's the second one, here's the third one, and here's 1, 2, 3, and we were like, what?
While both Kara and Megan's outcomes are the same, their journey to motherhood was very different.
Ready?
Kara miscarried a set of identical twins 2 years ago, but her husband and doctors never gave up hope.
I wasn't going to try again. After we lost the twins, I was basically pretty much done. It was Mark and the doctor who convinced me that we should try.
Ironically, her triplets, Gabriel, Paul, and Dominic, were born on the 1-year anniversary of her loss.
They're just the greatest gift we could have had. So we're really, really excited.
Pizza?
As for Megan, she and her husband always thought they might have kids someday. After only trying for a few months, the news they received at the doctor's was, well, quite shocking.
For me, it was spontaneous, and I had no idea it could ever happen that way, and it did.
Now Hunter, Maverick, and Emma dictate her daily routine.
We got 3 all at one shot, so it works. We're making it work.
The 2 moms, one in Ephrata and the other in Reading, met in a Facebook group for triplet mothers. Now they are leaning on each other to navigate through the world of multiples.
These women also know what we're going through, and even though everyone comes from different backgrounds, you know, we all connect on that same level.
As both women prepare for Mother's Day weekend, they feel incredibly blessed to have healthy, happy babies.
I think we appreciate them more because we know how hard we work to get them.
And recognize there is a bond that brings all mothers together like no other.
I actually did have, I don't know I have it anymore, but postpartum depression. It's super common. People don't really think it is, but it is. So it's cool to have that support system of other people.
Shannon Murphy, News 11.